Craigslist, it's a cheap, easy way and convenient way to sell and advertise things, and even an easier way to get ripped off. Google Craigslist scams and you'll get more than 28 million hits. And as 7 Action News anchor Stephen Clark found out, these scams can really hit close to home.
My daughter Sophie decided to spend her last semester at Western Michigan studying abroad in China, and she needed to sublet her room in this tidy house in Kalamazoo. So she did what thousands of people do every day. She put an ad on Craigslist.
Yep, there it is. The first response came within less than 24 hours from a woman coming from Berlin, Germany, and she was showing very much an interest in the room, so I replied back to her.
She said her name was Mary Forrest, even sent a picture and a few paragraphs about herself. I am 24, she writes in broken English. My laugh is soft and contagious.
Oh, easily 40, back and forth, 40 emails. We built a friendship, I would say, kind of.
She really built your trust up.
Yeah, definitely.
After about 3 weeks, Mary Forrest sent an email explaining that 2 checks would follow. One to cover rent, and one to pay a shipping company for Mary's belongings. But the next day, just 1 check arrived.
She told me to bank the entire thing in my account, subtract the amount for my rent payment, and she would give me further instructions once I did so.
The check looked real enough. It's issued by an international relocation company called the Cardis Corporation, but the story sounded fishy. Mary Forrest wanted Sophie to deposit this check in her own bank account, then take out money for a Walmart Moneygram to be sent to Florida to Mary's shipper. Now, isn't that the kind of thing that a relocation company ought to handle? So instead of depositing the check, I made a phone call to the company that supposedly issued it. It was clear Sophie was getting scammed.
Hi, Mr. Clark. John Wyatt at Cardis giving you a call back on that check. Short story, that check is bogus. There's no one in our organization that issued that check.
They look exactly like a genuine cashier's check.
Retired FBI agent Jeff Lanza is now an internet security consultant. He explains Sophie was caught up in a variation of the old Nigerian scam.
The Nigerian scams, that check always was returned to the bank, not paid, and then the bank will then debit your money that original amount. So you have to pay the money back to the bank for the amount of that fraudulent check.
So that's how they make their money and you lose yours.
That's exactly right.
And then I felt really stupid.
Knowing she was getting scammed, Sophie decided to turn the tables on them.
I did. I had some fun with it, and I told her I'd gotten in a little car accident, and I had to use all the money she sent me to get my car fixed, which made them very angry. She threatened to get the authorities involved to send me to jail, that I was going to jail. The next day, she said I'd be in jail by Monday.
Needless to say, Sophie wasn't in jail by Monday, and neither were the scammers. In fact, Sophie reposted the room for rent, and the first reply came from the same woman who no longer lived in Germany, but now said she was in Guam.